InvestorIdeas.com podcast.
Good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of InvestorIdeas.com podcasts. In today's podcast, we're going to be looking at a few public company announcements from TRUL Cannabis Corporation, trading on the CSE as TRUL and the OTCQX as TCNNF. Medical Marijuana Incorporated, trading on the OTC as MJNA. WRHLF, trading on the OTCQB as WRHLF, as well as Sugar Bread Craft Growers Corporation, trading on the TSXV Venture as SUGR. So first, starting with TRUL Cannabis Corporation, who announced that will soon begin offering edible cannabis products to patients in Florida. Following finalized regulations from the Florida Department of Health for the sale of edible cannabis products and approval of its products, TRUL will then introduce edibles into the medical cannabis dispensaries across the state, expanding patient access to the types of products that they've been requesting for years. Now, TRUL has planned the debut of edibles and the final guidelines in place from the Department of Health. Once its products are approved by the DOH, we'll be able to introduce an exciting assortment of edible products. In preparation for the edibles rollout, TRUL built a 10,000 square foot commercial grade kitchen and its production facility in Quincy, Florida, where TRUL's skilled production team will produce initial products as well as test and develop new offerings. In addition to its branded product line, TRUL has partnered with specialty edible brand partners Binsky, Bang, District Edibles, and Love's Oven to expand its edible offerings to include cookies, brownies, and other products from TRUL's customers. Similar to what we saw when flower was introduced in 2019, we expect that edibles will contribute to a sizable share of overall sales, said Kim Rivers, the CEO of TRUL. We know that the demand is there, and we've been hearing from our customers for some time now. To meet that pending demand, TRUL was the first in Florida market to introduce ingestible products. We started with capsules and extended that to other forms, such as the TRU powder in January, following our flavored options just this month, and TRU tincture drops, which are similar to lozenges. We are glad to finally be able to offer edibles as yet another option for medical cannabis patients across Florida. Rivers then went on and added, "We believe we are well positioned to meet the expected market demand for edibles and believe that we are the only cannabis company in the state that can serve this variety across 56 stores with not only our own TRUL branded edibles, but also robust product lines from partner brands." TRUL going to be launching edibles hopefully within the next few months. Obviously, if you've been paying attention to what's going on in the Florida market, it's a very interesting cannabis sector compared to a lot of the other states. In that it actually has yielded a lot of pretty extensive revenue. You have lots of patients who are onboarded to their medical cannabis program. The infrastructure is pretty well built out, but the biggest problem has been actually the products that are available and access to those products. You're starting to see that change. Obviously, new products available soon. You might start to see beverages obviously come online with the edibles, I would expect, and probably some of the other next generation products. TRUL definitely at the forefront of the Florida market right now, so I would expect us to gain them pretty comprehensive revenue over the next couple of months, and obviously I would expect those sales to go up as there is a huge demand for edibles in every market, not just Florida, but also because Florida hasn't has access. I would expect a pretty heavy surge for the first couple of months. And then it'll probably even out as other companies enter into the space as well and as more product offerings are available. I do think it's smart that they're also partnering with other specialty brand partners like Binksy Brand, District Edibles, Love's Oven, because that has worked as a strategy for both bringing products to the Canadian market or to other states, and that a lot of these brands have at least dialed down the recipes and have a very consistent and consumer-friendly product, which for a lot of these companies, when they're getting into the edible space, there is a lot of trial and error when it comes to producing a consistent product, especially one that actually has proper flavor profiles and consistent efficacy with the cannabinoids. So I do expect that'll, like I said, be a little bit of a boom for the next couple of months to the Florida market. And you might see a few other companies within that space. There's only a limited number. Also start to bring on board some sort of second generation products soon as well. Next, looking at Medical Marijuana Incorporated, basically the next two announcements are both going to be talking about the CBD industry, which I've talked about a lot over the last couple of months and how it has had a pretty stellar year of sales, especially as so many people have been forced to stay home and only have access to online shopping. CBD has already been set up for that infrastructure, so they've been doing quite well. And Medical Marijuana announced that the company has reached a significant operational milestone of selling and shipping more than 1.6 billion milligrams of hemp-based CBD since 2017. Now, the company's milestone comes at a time when e-commerce CBD sales have seen a sharp increase, as 4 out of 10 CBD consumers plan to use CBD oil more frequently during the COVID-19 pandemic, and 15% of those consumers plan on using a higher dose of CBD than usual. For a decade, our company has offered the highest potency CBD product in an oral application form through a flagship product, Real Scientific Hemp Oil. We've seen international media coverage and our customers having positive experiences with our products for over half a decade, said Medical Marijuana Incorporated CEO Dr. Stuart Titus. Many products on the market today use isolate forms of CBD or contain no CBD at all, marketing themselves as hemp oil. While we are glad to have such high demand for CBD products, we are also proud to remain one of the highest quality CBD oils on the market. Now, as one of the pioneers of the American hemp CBD industry, Medical Marijuana Incorporated has advocated for the compound for over a decade, and the company's products have remained popular among consumers as mass awareness of CBD rapidly increased. Today, there's over 62% of Americans recognize CBD and or CBD products, and about 33% of Americans have used CBD at least once. We continue to believe in a world where CBD and other cannabinoid-based products are a part of the general population's everyday wellness routine, said Medical Marijuana COO Blake Schroeder. While many new companies enter into the hemp CBD space, our portfolio of companies was the first to legally offer CBD products derived from industrial hemp. So obviously, Medical Marijuana there reaching a pretty significant milestone and continuing their CBD sales. Again, I would expect those to stay strong for the next while, as again, more and more people are focused on health and wellness products. More and more people are focused on immune boosting alternatives, and everybody's really quite adamantly looking at CBD or at least some sort of cannabinoid-based therapy right now when it comes to their overall health and wellness. You're seeing a huge momentum towards this, and as well as more people are stuck at home, online shopping is going to be one of their few avenues of gaining any of this medication or any of these products. And again, the CBD market is entirely based online right now. There are brick and mortar stores, but the majority of the CBD sales have been online. So I would expect it to continue to be a pretty good year for the CBD space. Speaking of which, WRHLF recently announced it's once again posted impressive numbers for its CBD sales of Love Hemp. So after reporting record financials in the first 2 quarters of 2020 that led to a 107% increase in online sales from January to May, Love Hemp has continued to succeed and to start in the third quarter. Now in July, the company reported a 57% growth in sales over corporate sales in June. And additionally, Love Hemp said its online sales remain significantly higher than pre-COVID-19 level sales, which made a 62% of all the company's sales in July compared to 40% of sales registered in January. Now, Love Hemp is spearheading the development of the UK's leading range of trusted CBD products, and its Chief Executive Officer, Tony Calamita, said on the continued growth, the wellness industry isn't showing any signs of slowing down. What we have witnessed is an increased consumption of CBD during the pandemic, and we expect to continue to see this post-COVID-19. In fact, the growth has been so strong this year that Love Hemp has not only produced impressive sales results month after month, but it's now expanding its operations to meet overwhelming consumer demand. WRHLF's subsidiary has started construction on a new multi-level 13,500 square foot facility that will increase production by more than 5 times its current output across the entire range of CBD products, including oils, cosmetics, and capsules. And the company also announced that the new facility, which should be completed in about 6 months, will increase its daily on-site production from a limit of 8,000 units of CBD oils, cosmetics, and capsules currently to an excess of 43,000 units per day. Now, Love Hemp CEO commenting on the expansion said that this expansion further increases our capabilities in striving to exceed customer and consumer requirements while improving storage and production capabilities, lead times, and ensuring the safety of our staff. Our strategy is to continue to expand our local footprint, contributing to the future growth of our business, while also providing quality CBD products to our consumers throughout the UK and around the world. So again, there's another CBD company that's had very, very, very consistent and high sales over the last sort of 6 to 5 months. And again, they're also expanding, using these opportunities, using that increased revenue to build out operations and anticipation of the next big boom or the next big surge of CBD products. And I do, again, agree here with what those couple of CEOs were commenting, which is saying that this is probably going to be continuing even post-COVID-19. You're going to continue to see more and more people, especially as they see any efficacy of these products. That's the real big thing within the CBD space, is that a lot of consumers, just by trying these products a couple of times, are actually having beneficial results. They may not be crazy results. They may not be these pharmaceutical-based results, but they are mild results. There's no downside to it. The cost of CBD products has significantly gone down. You're seeing more options available. You're seeing more flavor profiles, more full spectrum CBD available to consumers. And I think that as more consumers try these products, they're not only going to continue to go back to these products or continue to use CBD, but they're also going to then probably suggest this to other people that they're close with. And again, you're seeing the spread of the CBD trend. I don't think it's going away, even though a lot of people were sort of laughing at how over the top CBD sales and CBD hype was last year. It's now been quite justified this year with, again, the outbreak of this pandemic, as everyone's looking at just increasing their overall health and wellness. I don't see these products going away, and I don't see the demand or the sort of hype surrounding them going away. It's probably only going to get more aggressive. You're going to start to now see more and more probably endorsements and probably some form of either athletic teams or celebrity endorsements, even in a higher caliber than what we've seen so far. And I would again continue to expect to see international expansion of more CBD products. So this will not only be affecting the US and North American industries, but also the international industry. Obviously, the UK, EU, still heavily consuming CBD products and heavily demanding those new companies and new products available. So again, I do expect that this is going to be the next 2 years or so. You're going to hear a lot more about CBD products, and then probably some of the other microcannabinoid products like a CBG product will also start coming to play into that same space. Next, looking at Sugar Bud Craft Growers Corporation, who announced that part of the previously announced contract manufacturing agreement is formally started the final development of qualification of additive-free full-spectrum vape cartridges with Heritage Cannabis Holdings Corporation, trading on the CSE as CANN. Now, under the terms of the agreement, Heritage will continue to provide Sugar Bud with extraction, formulation, and production services for the development of its pre-filled vape cartridges utilizing proprietary additive-free formulations. Our high-quality, additive-free, full-spectrum vape products contain dried cannabis as the sole ingredient and are a natural and logical extension of our inhaled product strategy. Sugar Bud vape products will leverage and embody the quality, consistency, flavor profiles, and aromas found in exceptional craft cannabis flower, stated Mr. Kondrowski, the CEO of Sugar Bud. Now, new cannabis derivative products and formats such as vape cartridges and pens are a rapidly growing segment of the Canadian adult use market, and Sugar Bud expects that its high-quality additive-free vape products will become a significant catalyst for future growth. We are confident that our partnership with Heritage will equip Sugar Bud to deliver high-quality products to consumers with safety, integrity, and exceptional outcomes they demand, concluded Mr. Kondrowski. And the company expects to apply for Health Canada for the amendment of its sales license to permit the direct sales of cannabis extracts in the early of Q4 of this year. So more and more companies, again, entering into the extract space, trying to differentiate themselves. So in this case, you have solventless, additive-free, full-spectrum vape cartridges. There are products out there that are kind of similar to that right now. They might not necessarily be additive-free. And again, these are all going to be things that so far the consumers are very rarely aware of and not specifically looking for. Most of the average consumers are looking at price point, THC content, CBD content. Some are starting to pay attention to the terpene profiles, and you're now starting to see a very small percentage start to be aware of brands and packaging. That's just becoming more apparent as people have consistent sales. So as people go to these recreational dispensaries more often and buy these products on a regular basis, they are starting to see, well, which packaging is giving me a better quality product and which one isn't. And so packaging is definitely starting to be one of the key sort of definers of most brands. All the packaging is still shitty, so that's a big issue. You are starting to see next generation products or newer products start to come out with slimmer and less ridiculous over the top child-proof packaging, obviously still adhering to the same guidelines and regulations, but they have found ways to make this a little less visually unappealing, which is a big problem for the industry and still is kind of unaddressed when we're looking at the Canadian market. But at least for some of them, having different colors or name brands somewhere on there is starting to play with at least consistent consumer buyers right now. And you are starting to see that, again, they're getting some understanding of these second generation products and what the differences are between them. But mostly it's going to be the strain they choose, and mostly it's going to be the price point and the THC and CBD content. I do think that before you get into the minutia of additive free and full spectrum versus partial spectrum or with additives, you're not going to have that sort of educated consumer for quite some time, still probably another year or two away before that's really normalized. And as well, even within that space, price point, strain choice are still going to be very, very important. So I would be interested to see which strains they'll actually be selling and which sort of price points they're going to be fitting into and which sort of provinces they're going to be playing, because again, there are some of the provinces quite competitive within the extract space right now, and some of them are a little bit more nascent. So for any of these companies who are now just getting into the extract market, it's a pretty competitive place to be in right now. And even though obviously there are some nice margins to be played with in that space, it is a difficulty as far as competitive advantage and what's really going to make your product sell. Obviously, availability is going to be key. And then also, again, what price points and strains you're playing with. That's all for today's podcast. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. That's all for today's podcast. Podcast is now a certified word trademark on the blockchain through Cognate Incorporated CM certification. InvestorIdeas.com podcasts are also available on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play Music, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, and TuneIn. If you'd like to be a guest or sponsor of this podcast, please contact InvestorIdeas.com. Investor Ideas reminds all listeners to read our disclaimers and disclosures on the InvestorIdeas.com website, and this podcast is not an endorsement to buy products or services or securities. Investors are reminded that all investments involve risk and possible loss of investment. Investor Ideas does not condone the use of cannabis except where permissible by law. Our site does not possess, distribute, or sell cannabis products.